please. Not 20, because it's got to start with the 1, end with the 0. Got 10 on our list. Avery, 100. All right, let's do one more. Micaiah, 1,000. So when I say that we're going to multiply and divide by numbers that are by tens, that would be 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. We could even do 1,000,000 if we wanted to. It's got to start with a 1 and end with zeros. Okay? Now, let's take a whole number before we get into our decimal numbers. If I have 63 times 100, raise your hand if you would work this out. If you would stack it up and multiply it. Probably not many of us. What trick do we know to solve that super fast? Caleb? Say again. Very good. The zeros go on the back of the number. So I would just say 63 times 1 is 63. And I would add my 2 zeros. Did that take much time at all? No. Now here's the deal. That makes it seem like we're just adding 2 zeros to the back. But in reality, we're not. We're doing something a little bit different. That's what we're going to talk about today. Now, you do not have to write this down. I'm sorry, I should have said that earlier. Let's say that I have a place value chart. So thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. What comes after the ones?
Tens.
I tricked you. Please. A decimal. Very good. Then the tenths. Then the hundredths. Then the thousands. Now think about it for a second. If I put this number on the place value chart, somebody raise your hand and tell me where would these 6 go? In what place value? Patrick? The tens. And the 3, Patrick, would go in the ones. Very good. Now, based on that rule, all I said is I add 2 zeros to the back. If I do that, did I really create 6,300 right here? No, I created 63.00. It stayed 63. So really what happens when I multiply by a tens number is I push things to higher place values. So since it's by 100, it's going to jump by 2 place values. So now it's in the thousands and the hundreds. And what could I fill those 2 empty place values with? KJ?
2 zeros.
The 2 zeros. So I am adding 2 zeros, but I'm not really just adding them to the back. What I'm really doing is I'm pushing the place values forward and then adding the zeros. Does that make a little bit of sense to everybody? Okay? So it's not wrong to say we just add zeros to the back, but you have to remember I'm actually pushing them forward and then adding the zeros. Okay? You've got to have a little bit of that before we can get into today's notes. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for a second. I'm going to come back and forth.